All right, folks, we are live. Welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. I am your host, Conrad Cushman, and with me today is my man, Donnie. Donnie, what's going on, man?
What's up, everybody?
Throwing it up. We are going to do a review of NWA Into the Fire. This show just went off the air on FITE.tv. Did a giveaway for it. Hopefully everybody got to enjoy this. We're going to kind of talk about it. We are in the middle of our wrestling extravaganza weekend, and we have some really good things happening here. But if you guys could, do me a favor. Make sure you guys click that like button for me. Also, hit that subscribe button. I think we're one subscriber away from 1K. Let's make that happen tonight. Let's make it a memorable night, folks. If it happens, someone in the chat, please let me know that happened. I'm really looking forward to talking about this show. We've got some links down below, some goodies. If you guys love independent wrestling, you can go to powerslam.tv and use the code EPWShow to get your first month free on me. We love to have you guys check out some of the best independent pro wrestling in the world. So make sure you guys use powerslam.tv. Also, we have some links down below if you guys like the merch that we rock. We have some great EPW merch. More on the way. Shout out to Rob for making that. Shout out to Pro Wrestling Artistry who did the graphics for this. This graphic is fire, and I absolutely enjoy it. Into the fire! What? Get that garbage off your head, Donnie. Bullet Club is dead. Rob is harsh for Gato. John L. Jackson, what's going on, brother? Sonny is in the chat. He is putting up a hashtag that we're going to be talking about. Thomas Polster, let me know. We hit the 1K. Thank you, EPW. You guys are the best. I love it. We got to get the watch time up now, and then we're on to great things. I promise you guys. This is still your show, though. Nothing changes about it. Let's get into NWA Into the Fire, shall we? On the commentary team, we had Joe Galley, Stu Bennett. How freaking happy were you to just see Stu Bennett back in wrestling again?
Very happy, man. It's been a long time. I thought he was awesome on commentary, right?
Yeah,
he
did
that at all.
He didn't sound like he missed a beat. He still sounded like he was very much so into pro wrestling. I was happy with it. And
he sounded very comfortable. Like, he didn't sound nervous or anything like that,
Hell no. And he shouldn't have. I'm very happy for the dude. He's good. Someone who I felt deserved a little bit more in his time in one of the other companies. And absolutely. I hated his run ending in Lucha Underground with his big unveiling, and then we never got to really see what happened. That sucked. Oh, yeah, live chat. No, poor Derek. Derek is not censored. Derek, it's his birthday today. He's a little bit turnt, a little bit lit. He may pop up in the chat. So if you guys are watching this after the fact, make sure you guys put into the comment section below, hashtag happy birthday, Derek.
And, happy birthday, Derek.
That's right, D. So, you know what? I'm going to dedicate this review to you, Derek. We got the 1K. He's definitely have to be censored now, though, at the 1K. You brought up a good point, Tom. You're right. Elijah Washington, what's going on, brother? Oh, yes, we are going to talk about that for sure. It's good to have you in here. And if you guys like the content, like I said, subscribe, man. It doesn't stop at 1K. Keep it going. Let's get into this, though. So this event was watched in over 40 countries, we are told. I believe it. That is really good for NWA. They've got a lot going on here. Opening contest, Donnie. We have Eli Drake. Do I have to say it like that I feel like I should, right? Eli Drake versus Ken Anderson. They came through the crowd to entrance music, which is different from what we get from NWA on the weekly television. People are not getting entrance music usually. Your thoughts on this match?
I thought it was a decent match. Nothing too crazy. Ken Anderson looked like he put on a gut there.
Oh, come on. Leave Kenny alone. Kenny hasn't been wrestling like that. I love Ken Anderson.
Yeah, I love Ken Anderson too. I do.
These guys look like pro wrestlers, though, back in the day, so that's one of the better things. I'm not going to judge people for having a little bit of the belly. I get it. I got one, too. I can't say shit to anybody. But this was a fun match, I thought. It was a decent way to open it up. I kind of figured they would start off with this match. Eli Drake is someone who I see on the uprise for NWA. He's someone who they could probably get behind, do some things with. So in this match, They end up having a really cool spot. Ken Anderson's on the top rope. Eli Drake hops up, showing his bunnies, if I can say that, onto the top rope, attempting a superplex, but Ken Anderson falls and drops down, setting him up for a powerbomb. So you think. Eli Drake then drops down onto him. We get the Bulldog Bret Hart a la Penn from SummerSlam 92. Hooks both the legs. 1, 2, 3. Unbelievable ending. I thought it was very well done. I give this a C+. I just felt at some points it was a little bit slow.
Yeah.
They got a little plotty in it, but I don't go into the ring. Did this accomplish what it needed to? We would find out later on in the show. Absolutely. So C+ for this match. If you're looking for some razzle dazzle in here, you're not going to find it, but you're going to get some decent wrestling. Let's get back into the David Marquez and Nick Aldis interview. Nick Aldis comes out. He's putting over the NWA and the NWA title. And James Storm comes out. They jibber jabber back and forth. You get your little sorry about your damn luck. And they go back and forth into this. What do you think of these two in the face heel dynamic? We were talking to Rob, who's in the chat. What's going on, Rob? What do you think of that? There's no baby face and heel really defined, in my opinion, with these two.
True.
What do you think of all that?
I don't know, man. It's weird. Especially that one episode where it was just chaos. Remember that weird ending where everybody came out like this person.
You're out the frame.
Oh,
get back in.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And like
the Donnybrook Brawl.
Yeah, like I'm just confused. Like, you know, who is the face? Who is the heel? Because I mean, they both come off as heels, man.
See, Rob said he thinks after tonight Anderson's a full here. That's clear here, but I'm talking about Storm and Aldis.
Yeah.
It's like Aldis puts over all the great things about the NWA, but then he's, I don't like you, I'm going to do this in the match, and it's different.
Yeah.
So, let's get into the match that was added last minute. We found out yesterday. We had Tasha Steelz versus Thunder Rosa. We don't know a lot about Tasha Steelz. I've seen some independent wrestling work that she did.
They said during her entrance she's from the Brick City.
Yeah, I mean, she's Steelz. I'm not mad at that. Also, they had a kind of decent match here. Thunder Rosa's really impressed me. She was Cobra Moon in Lucha Underground, and I thought that she was really good there. And Thunder Rosa is someone who I feel like they're building the division around more than anyone else. What do you think? Because they gave the MMA promo and everything else they had going on with it.
Yeah, that was a big promo. So they're pushing her.
I like it.
Which is, you know, I like it too. I think she's a really great in-ring performer. Great character. I mean, the paint is just awesome.
Hold on, I got to respond to Elijah in the chat about that. We're going to talk about that later, but you guys are killing me getting to that main event. You guys are hyped about that. Yeah. So here's how I put it for this match. Basic match, not really great. To me, it was like the debut for Tasha Steelz. You get to see what she could do. This is her look. She wasn't
bad.
Right. And then you have Thunder Rosa. This was her showcase. Like, this is why we're behind this girl. This is someone that we're going to be doing great things with.
And she had an awesome theme.
Yes. And if you want to hear more from Thunder Rosa, JPQ and I think Queen of NE both have excellent interviews with her. Make sure you check them out as well. Thunder Rosa gets the win with a double stomp. After the match, Rosa attacks Steelz, and here comes Ashley Vox. I don't know what she's done in NWA, but she took a beat down. What the F is Tasha Steelz? Kind of bad tonight. Donnie just wants to hit. Oh, I'm done. We're not even bringing that up. Beat down. Then basically there's a beat down. Ashley Vox is out and is a possible injury, so that's going to reflect on the tag match that we thought Thunder Rosa could have been a part of once we found out the teams yesterday. Gave it a C. It was
great.
All right. It was all right. Thank you, Sonny. King Savage, good to see you guys in here. My man Sick is in the house as well. Obi-Wan. And shout out to Foul Original Wrestling. If you guys have not subscribed to Foul, make sure you guys do. Derek just entered the chat. Happy birthday, Derek.
What's up, birthday boy?
We dedicated this show to you, just so you know, tonight, brother. Hit the 1K as well. So we're doing all right. Feeling good. Grade C for that match. Let's get into the question mark with Aaron Stevens versus Trevor Murdoch. Trevor Murdoch still trying to earn that NWA contract. What have you thought about question mark since he got back in here?
Like his debut, or like tonight alone?
Yeah, period. What have you thought about him being re-entered into pro wrestling, basically, Trevor Murdoch?
Oh, Trevor Murdoch. You said question mark.
I'm sorry. Question. We'll get into that. That's a whole nother bullshit.
So Trevor Murdoch in the NWA, I think it's really cool. I think he fits with it so well, just because that old school, old school wrestling. I mean, he can still go. I mean, how old is he, man?
All hail Monrovia, just written in the chat. Knock it off. The question mark, he reminds me a lot of some guy named Josephus. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Keep kayfabe alive.
That dude is over.
But Trevor Murdoch getting back into pro wrestling, I think, is a great thing. Yeah. I thought that he was very athletic, very underutilized in previous companies where he's been used. Good to see Murdoch back out here. We get into this. Aaron Stevens comes out in a gi. There's a point to this. The Mongrovian flag came out and into play, and they talked about Mongrovian karate, and they did the national anthem. What was that?
So not only that national anthem was weird, and I pointed out to CJ, like, look at the flag alone. You have an emu, which is a giant bird, a giant question mark in the center, and then a Triceratops dinosaur.
And Rob brought up a good point. Murdoch's only 39. Murdoch's been around for a while, though. He's been doing this for quite some time. Yeah. So the Mongrovian stuff got over with the crowd. They did this whole, like, should we stand up? It is respectful. It's the guy's flag. Yeah. They played this off very well. Yeah. And they could disrespect a flag without it being someone's real flag.
Right.
Well done, NWA. Lagana, Billy Corgan, give you credit for that. So they do the whole flag ceremony. This act is over. I don't care what anyone says. The question mark is probably the most over person in the NWA. And I'm interested to see how they continue doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so interesting that a dude with just a plain old school mask and normal getup.
And he doesn't look like he lifts weights every day.
Exactly.
So afterwards, the flag comes into play. Trevor Murdoch tried to grab the flag there was some dude with a question mark mask. I don't know. This is getting very Dark Order-esque. He grabs the flag, and he ends up losing the match because of it, because Mongrovian spiked for the win. Mm-hmm. Aaron Stevens obviously got involved, partially distracting for a second. Mongrovian spike, 1, 2, 3. Question mark gets the win. I had to give this a B- for the crowd interaction and how everybody was really into it. Pro wrestling takes a toll, I see. Stop it, guys. You guys are cracking me up in the chat. I love it. B- for this match, though. Shout out to Jeremy Harris, who joins us as well in the chat. Good to have you in here, Jeremy.
And Goober says, question mark for world champion?
I think it could happen. Maybe that's where the storyline leads to. They have a lot of things they can mess with within this.
They really could.
Company.
They really could.
Everything Pro Wrestling, Murdoch is the father of the revival. Say yeah. And Derek wrote, join us. We're not joining the question mark clan. We're not joining the Dark Order. Stop it. Aaron Stevens needs to go back to acting because NWA doesn't need him. Oh, Aaron Stevens is good too, man. I love it. Let's get into the next match. I was surprised this was on this early. The NWA tag team titles. This is not a botch. The current champions, the Rock and Roll Express. That's right. Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson are the NWA tag champions. And that's not, I shouldn't laugh, because these guys are still good. They can still go in the ring. Yeah. When I'm their age, I hope that I could do this even.
Yeah, absolutely.
They come out with Homicide and Eddie Kingston, my boys. Good to see them.
Very interesting entrance music Rock and Roll Express had. Like,
Donnie brought it up. It was like techno.
When I see the Rock and Roll Express, I'm thinking the Rocker. But no, you got the like, what is this? It doesn't fit them, man. I was kind of
Lagana, who picked that entrance music for the Rock and Roll Express? You did a disservice to them tonight. I was not a fan of that. But the Rock and Roll Express come out. They had Homicide and Kingston in their corner because the wild cards, Latimer and Isaacs, had the Dawsons in their corner. Yep. So this is kind of interesting. I smell an 8-man tag happening on Power eventually. That's just what I see from this. Can I say this about the Wild Cards entrance gear? You brought that up. The Wild Cards entrance gear was way better. No more kilt for Latimer. They didn't look weird. They actually had outfits that matched so much better for pro wrestling. When you're in a tag team, you look cohesive. You have a similar look. It's way better. And then you gotta have a difference so that, you know, people aren't like, oh, these two wear the same thing. It's all the fine touches in how you do it. I respect the NWA for putting something like that in there. Well done. So in this match, we saw some interesting things. Ricky Morton hit a tope to the outside. Of course, Robert Gibson had to hold open the ropes for him a little bit so that we guaranteed no tripping. But I'm impressed that he can still do all this stuff. So we did see our tope suicida, and they went to the floor, did some good things here. What else did I have in my notes here? Morton hits a destroyer on Latimer.
Whew, it was bigger than the one he did at AEW.
Dude, I thought he broke his back the way he looked there. He's like, yeah, buddy. He looked hurt, man. Don't be hating on the Nasty Boys, a.k.a. the Rock and Roll Express. Who is making NWA music? I want to find out. Elijah Washington, if you find out, message me, bro. Thank you guys so much. Sonny, I appreciate that, Sonny. You are the man for that. So eventually, you know, the Dawsons and Eddie Kingston and Homicide being out there, this isn't going to end well. I like that Homicide, Eddie Kingston bring that hip-hop vibe to it, and the Dawsons are those nasty country boys. They get ready to start brawling. People are picking up chairs. There's a little scruffle, and the referee, by the way, was that the ref in this match? The ref, when I noticed that he was the former WWE ref. He used to be the ref that danced at the live events. I was wondering what happened to him for years. He gets out there. He's like, hey, you guys can't be doing all this. And, you know, jibber jabber it back and forth. Well, what happens but a double drop kick to Isaacs. 1, 2, 3.
Shock.
I definitely thought that the Wild Cards were taking back their belts.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I thought, you know, when Rock and Roll Express won on Power, that I'm like, okay, they'll drop the titles back to the Wild Cards on the pay-per-view. Nope. They retain their championships. What?
The Rock and Roll Express pick up the W. I give this a grade of a B. I thought this was fun.
It was a fun match.
Shocking ending. When's the last time a match ended with a double drop kick?
That's old school, man.
That's old school is damn right. Shout out to my man Foul. He says straight out Atlanta. Next, we get an exciting announcement on this show, guys. Next NWA pay-per-view is taking place January 24th. It sounds like I'm going to have a very busy Royal Rumble weekend once again. NWA, kind of quick turnaround for a pay-per-view. A little too quick, in my opinion. Live chat, what did you guys think about that? Let me know. And Eddie Kingston and Homicide need to come out to a Pac song. That you're going to have to pay big money for that. They ain't going for that. So, January 24th, next NWA pay-per-view. It's going to be on FITE. Follow me at EPW Show, guys. And I probably will have a giveaway for that with FITE once again. But that's not the key point of this segment. Stu Bennett. He came out of nowhere with a very, very special surprise. And you know what, Donnie? You're the guest of honor, so I'm gonna let you bring it up while I bring up the picture for it.
Stu Bennett brings out another legendary title, the NWA World Television Championship.
Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm going to go to the actual live feed so that I can make sure you guys see that. He holds up the NWA Television Championship. This one right here, the classic.
Yeah,
it returns. Names attached to this title like Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, Mac Dream, Death to Road, if you will. You have so many great names attached to that title, and I love the classic look. Don't change it. It's too good. It's too good. And I love everybody's putting, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Really dope, though, that he got to unveil the title. It got spoiled for us because as soon as he picked it up, I saw the flip a little bit. I was like, oh, it's the NWA TV title. But it was really good.
I honestly wasn't expecting him to bring out another title. You know, I figured, well, we only get 1 hour YouTube shows and, you know, with enough time for world, tag team, and women's, you know, but... or in the national. So that's what, 5 titles now.
That's good though.
That is good. I'm not hating.
I think they believe in their product enough to say that we're going to have a lot of titles, and our show's going to get bigger. It's going to get better, and I hope it does.
As a fan, that's what I want.
Believe in your stuff, man. After this, we get Mr. Eli Drake. He comes back out to do an interview. While he's out there, he's talking to David Marquez, and Ken Anderson comes out to attack Eli Drake, and this leads to a brawl happening around the ringside studio area, and he puts the steel chair around his neck, throws him into the post, and then a mic check onto an open steel chair in the middle of the ring. Pure chaos for Mr. Ken Anderson. So, unbelievable. Refs and security stop it. This feud ain't over between these two.
No.
I think it's gonna be greater. Are you interested in this feud more now after the attack?
Absolutely.
What do you think? Is Eli Drake still the focus though? Is he who the NWA is going with moving forward?
I think so. I mean, he's gives great promos. He's great in the ring. Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. Stu Bennett, I like him on commentary, Elijah Washington says, and he said, but I wanted I wouldn't be surprised, I think is what he's trying to say, if I see him in the ring fighting for the TV title. I would like that. Mm-hmm. I would like to see that. That would be some really dope stuff. Let's get into the NWA tag match. This featured the NWA Women's Champion Allysin Kay. It looks like it's going to be a handicap match potentially versus Melina and Marti Belle. This one was a little rough to get through. So we were figuring out who her partner's going to be, and then we just hear she has a partner. And it's like, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden they're like, and here's her partner, and it's the ODB. And we all know that we love an old dirty bit. I won't say it. But ODB comes out, flask and all, boom, doing all of her stuff. And this was a basic tag team match. I saw like 2 or 3 botched DDTs in this. Like, it looked bad. But and the finish wasn't too well either. Basically, basic tag match. The story here is that Melina is trying to get the respect that she once had from other places, and for her role in how women's wrestling has become important. And the finish is then Marti Belle gets caught. She's supposed to take the TKO, but it turns into like this weird botched kind of slam. But in wrestling, do you notice a botch if it happens like that? I know what it's supposed to be, but if you've never seen ODB, you would have just been like, oh, okay, that's it. 1, 2, 3, they get the win. I give this a C-. Donnie, what are your thoughts?
Just what Rob said.
Robert, do not write this, and nobody Google that name that he wrote in
Do not Google that name.
You're done, Robert. You're done. Melina was looking right. Sick just blew a kiss to ODB. I love it. I'm sure she's like, bam! I love after the match too, when they're walking by the commentary team, and she just yells, "You want me to make a man of you?" And they're like, "What do you mean?" And then she's drinking her flask, and she goes, "Hey, Joe Galley, you want some?" And then he's like, "I'm not old enough." Good stuff. Everything Pro Wrestling confirmed to NWA as a tag team. Thank you. Could you imagine me and you as a team? NWA TV title is better than the Intercontinental Championship. Ooh, that's harsh, Jeremy. I don't know if I can say that yet. I have to really put some thought behind that. Good points, though. C- for that match. We see more highlights of Aldis and Storm. What are you laughing at? Foul. You're probably correct. Is Lisa Sparks like hardcore Holly? Yeah. You and Rob are gonna have to talk about that in the DMs.
Well, no, did you read the one before it?
What? Where are you looking?
Elijah?
Donnie reminded me of the TNA Crimson. Damn. Crimson, my boy. I like Orange Loganberry when he dressed up like Orange Cassidy for Halloween on the AEW review.
He will be back soon, by the way.
So...
Which, and Crimson was there earlier, too.
Crimson, with Ken Anderson.
That's right, the big brawl.
Ken Anderson punched him in his stomach. Mad random. He was like, you guys got to watch the show for the little things like that. I'm trying not to spoil it all. Let's get into the national title match. We had the Stroke Daddy. Do not ask me what that means. I have no clue. The Stroke Daddy, Ricky Starks, versus Aaron Stevens versus Boom Boom Colt Cabana. He is wrestling once again after wrestling on the Ring of Honor show last last night, which we have a review for. If you check out the archives, last video we just did, doing really well in the numbers actually. So thank you guys for that. Aron Stevens is out there with the question mark, and Ricky Starks has so much charisma. I just have to give him his props for that. This match starts off with lots
awesome theme, by the way.
Oh yeah, that was the one. I think that was the best theme that somebody had.
Agreed, yeah.
Because he was dancing to it and everything else. I wonder if they were using different themes though in the arena, maybe. ECW-esque. You use actual themes there, but no one's gonna tell.
And New Japan starting to do that too.
Maybe we can get somebody who's there. Let me see here. Rob says Ricky Starks was the standout of the night for me. Hell yeah, Rob. Have that in my notes. Stay out my notes, Rob. He's always in there. Stevens is double teamed in the beginning of this match. What did you think of the comedy-esque in the match? Like, Colt Cabana is usually involved in comedy matches. Did you think it was too much haha or just enough?
Just enough. Definitely just enough. Because, Sandow was...
What you could get right here when he was hiding.
Yeah, hiding under the blanket that was around the Christmas tree, even behind the Christmas tree.
Yeah, I'm sure. What's up, Chris Lee? I saw Chris Lee just joined us. He put RIP to ROH. I guess he is not going to be watching that review.
I feel you, bro.
Stevens hides behind the Christmas tree that's on stage. They try to get this, theme, it's Christmas time. This is the NWA. I like it. More double team moves to Stevens that continuously occurs, but then eventually when he goes to hide, Colt Cabana and Starks will end up fighting each other. So he goes to hide again, but then he hides behind a curtain this time. I don't even know where it was. He was laying on the floor, hiding behind a curtain. Some lazy ass shit. This is some WWE SmackDown versus Raw 07 stuff. Dude, stop hiding. Get in the ring, man. Get in the ring. And can we say this, Stevens? The new tights gotta go, bro.
They really gotta go.
You're killing it. I think it's part of the heel shtick now. I think it's sticking. I'm done with Stevens until he changes those tights, damn it. King Savage said Val Venus ripoff. Hello, ladies. The big Val Boski's a lot like I won't, because I could do a whole spiel from back in the day. Val Venus was a great wrestler, by the way.
Yes, he was.
So, Stevens is in the ring. Eventually, we get to the end. Colt Cabana goes for a Superman pin, the same way he beat James Storm, which I think is a really dope way to get a pinfall, where he just grabs the guy's legs with his legs and pins him. But this time, he gets hit with a Mongrovian spike because he was right in front of the question mark. He gets hit with it, and then when he gets up, Ricky Starks spears him, but then the question mark grabs him, and here comes Stevens running into the ring like a little punk ass that he is. 1, 2, 3... Aron Stevens steals the national championship, and he is running around happy with the question mark. Karate!
And then, Aron Stevens continues his celebration, and up and down the stairs through the crowd. Boo! Yay! Boo! Yeah,
They did very well with this. I give this a B- once again for crowd interaction. I thought they did very well.
Yeah.
It wasn't the greatest because of the hiding and everything else, but I thought it was a fun match.
Yeah.
Couldn't be mad at it. The great nation of Monrovia reigns supreme. RJ's in the house. What's good, RJ? Good to have you in here, brother. Make sure you guys check out RJ's podcast and stuff. RJ, put your info into the chat, man. Let these people know where they can find you. Once again, of Monrovia, I'm not reading this, Robert. Get out of here. Oh, Rob. We get a Tim Storm kind of interview highlight kind of package, demonstrating why he got into the referee spot, everything else. Doing it for Mama Storm, and he's got all this respect. But you don't know what's going to happen in this main event. The main event was built off of speculation, rumor, and innuendo, as another famous Conrad would say. And let's get into this, man. The NWA World Title match, 2 out of 3 falls. We have the current champion, Nick Aldis, who's been doing a great job, in my opinion, versus James Storm. Any thoughts on these two, Donnie, for you?
Well, James Storm, actually at this point, I've been watching both guys for years. Both were from Impact. I wish... I don't know, man. I love them both. And I was looking forward to this match, and I think it delivered.
I'm going to answer these questions in the chat real quick because Rob got angry at me. Rob, Monrovia wins. King Savage said, if I'm a wrestler, I'm going to steal everybody's bike like Debo. They tried that with my man Hunico before. Got to make sure that you get the top push with it. But Debo is not a bad person to want to be. RJ put ringside rant _RJ. Make sure you guys give him a follow on all podcast platforms. RJ's a good dude. We live really close to each other. Absolutely appreciate that dude. Solid person. Elijah Washington put laugh out loud at King. King is the man, dude. I can hear the squeaky bike wheels right now. That's my bike, punk. But back into this. So the main event match had so much happening with it. We had the 2 out of 3 falls. The referees are going to be changing throughout. So the first fall, we find out Hebner is going to be the ref. Second fall is going to be Tim Storm. And the third fall is going to be a coin flip. The coin flip will determine who is the referee for it. They don't really explain, and we'll get into that once it happens, kind of.
And the referee that flipped the coin was...
The referee from the WWE. Well, I can't remember. His name was Robert something. King? Was it Robert King?
I'm not sure.
Something like that. He's an NWA ref now. Good to see him back with a company on television. I always thought he was a good referee. Mm-hmm. So James Storm versus Nick Aldis. Beginning of this match, there's some basic wrestling happening. Takedowns, everything else. Starts getting a little heated, and then here comes Camille. We've been wondering where the hell Camille has been.
Great outfit, by the
way. And Camille comes out, and Aldis is arguing with her. He basically gave her the night off, told her to go to the back. I don't know why he's hiding her. There's something more to this that we're not putting all together yet. And when he turns around, last call super kick, 1, 2, 3. He's out, done, finished. Brian Hebner, that was a quick paycheck for him possibly for the night. He's out of the ring. We get to the second fall. So now Tim Storm is the referee for this one. They start brawling into the crowd. Everything is in James Storm's favor at this point. He's whooping ass. Nick Aldis is laying out by the people. He's getting his ass whooped. They get into the ring before they get into the ring, there was a nasty superplex spot that I wanted to bring up onto that stage floor. And you asked the question,
yeah. Why don't they have any mats?
Why don't they have any mats on the floor? Would that bother you guys if they brought mats and put them on the floor for the NWA shows? Because these guys are getting suplexed onto a television studio stage. That's probably gonna hurt.
It's gonna sting.
Yeah, like a mother. So they bring all this up. He gets back into the ring, and the Christmas tree eventually gets taken out as well. Nick Aldis sends James Storm into the tree. Sorry about your damn luck, Storm, because that sucked. Hopefully that wasn't a real tree. Right. Wink face. But freaking taken out. I have the Storm gets hit, and at one point I got nervous because I thought this could have been over. Mm-hmm. The Storm is kind of like a razor's edge. She spins in a circle and then spins the guy. Really, really talented move for him to pull off. But he goes for a small package after the kick out on that, and it gets reversed. Nick Aldis gets the win, similar to how he beat Cody Rhodes at the NWA 70th show. I'm not mad. Tim Storm counts the 3 count. Tim Storm, as a referee, was suspect with some of the counts, but I think that's expected because he's a wrestler, so you're like, oh, okay. Is he going to turn? Is he going to do something else? Thank you. So Robert King was the name. Thank you, Elijah Washington. On it. My man. Perfect. Perfect win. Not mad at it. Third fall. Mr. Robert King comes out, and he starts saying how they're going to do the coin flip. They bring it up. It's so convoluted. I think they're getting confused trying to explain it. Yeah. Rip Christmas tree. Yeah, the fans were chanting Merry Christmas after that happened too, by the way. Merry Christmas. So, coin flip happens. I believe they said heads is if it's heads, Hebner gets the referee. If it's tails, it's going to be Storm. Mm-hmm. So, he calls it. He flips it over. Heads. Obviously, it's predetermined. They're not going to zoom in and show you what the coin really said. Aldis. He hits a superplex right in the very beginning of this for a near fall. Storm comes in, hits a flying elbow off the top rope, near fall. These two are battling it out back and forth. You could have went either way with this contest. Was there someone in particular you were rooting for at this point, Donnie, during the match?
Honestly, Aldis.
Aldis is the guy, you think?
Yeah, just because...
He gives me that Harley Race, Ric Flair credential feel now.
Exactly. And I would love to see James Storm be champion at one point. Not right now.
Rob brings up the Matt situation again, and he says no Matt's is a callback to Jim Herd, Bill Watts, and WCW Crockett. Yeah, when I start seeing over the top rope disqualifications and jumping off the top rope DQs, that's where I throw in the towel, boys. F Bill Watts. So anyway... we get back into the match. Storm hits the elbow off top rope. There's a kick out. We see a tombstone from Nick Aldis to a flying elbow off the top rope. Shades of his TNA days. Derek is wilding out in the chat. Tell that man happy birthday, everybody. Tell Derek happy birthday. Something's wrong with that man. Get yourself some cake. Top rope elbow drop. It looked beautiful. Mm-hmm. Nick Aldis, one of the best elbow drops in the business. He's not past Kyrie Sane, but it's good. And he hits his elbow drop. We get a kick out. Ref bump. Brian Hebner, what you doing, bro? You can't be taking ref bumps like that. I miss when he used to be the SmackDown ref with the sweet Tracy McGrady sneakers. Yeah. And he was beatboxing. What happened to that guy? He takes a bump. He goes out the ring for this one. And Tim Storm's still ringside. Mm-hmm. So Tim Storm gets in with his referee shirt on. He's going to ref the match. Nick Aldis exposes the turnbuckle. Do you remember how that even happened? Or was it just kind of he was trying to do it on purpose? Was it an accident?
I believe Storm had his arm, like he was under Aldis and he was trying to like pull him down, but while he was, he was trying to take the buckle off. And he got it off, but then Storm, flipped him over, and he was trying to pin him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then eventually this led to, in all NWA, like, matches, why are there always, like, figure four leg locks, everything else? They're going for it, and he eventually gets, like, pushed into the turnbuckle head first. We all know this is a classic pro wrestling move. Exposed turnbuckle head first. James Storm is out, and he goes to lock in the Texas Cloverleaf. I love that move, by the way. Texas Cloverleaf is locked in. He puts it on. Tim Storm calls it, bro. He says, ring the bell. James Storm never tapped out officially. So I don't know if you're going to be able to get some more out of this, but he calls the match, and it's over. Nick Aldis is in the ring, and we feel like it kind of comes off flat here. Grade for this match. We didn't really talk about it. I'm willing to give this. What do you think here? We didn't really talk about it yet. Way ahead of you now. Join us. I'm done with Derek. Storm versus Storm feud. RJ says that wouldn't be bad. Shit, he already lost his title opportunity. Might as well. What if they did it for the name? They could do a lot of things with this.
Absolutely.
I'd love to see them in like a street fight too, like a Texas kind of street fight. Classically anticlimactic in my opinion. Rob says. I still think they did decent with this though. Enough. B- is fair, I think, for it. Didn't really have the oomph that we thought we were gonna get, but it did all right. Overall, let's give an overall show grade right now, so that way you guys can know what we thought of this.
Real quick, James Storm was carried out of the ring, and he saluted the fans, thinking they cheered him on. He put on a hell of a performance. That's all I wanted to say. I thought that was a cool moment. But go ahead.
Oh, Storm would easily beat Storm in a Storm versus Storm match. James Jackson, you are the man. Thumbs up for that. Mama Storm on a pole match. RJ. You guys are killing me tonight. Killing me. Overall grade, we talked about this before, though. B-, I think, is fair for this show. Was it the greatest thing? No, but they really established who the NWA are and what you're going to see if you watch their YouTube show every week, 6:05 on Tuesdays.
Are we counting this show as like their official first pay-per-view since this rebirth of NWA?
I mean, they had the 70s show.
They had the 70s
They had the
show.
Ring of Honor one.
Yeah.
The Crockett Cup. I mean, I guess this is since they started weekly television.
Yeah.
It's kind of like AEW started off with pay-per-views and then they had their weekly shows built in. So, whatever. I'm happy with what we're getting from NWA.
Absolutely.
NWA is moving up the ranks.
It's been fun, man.
Yeah, we talked about the bond they had with Ring of Honor and how it just went right out the window. But we're still not done yet, man. We have another thing to talk about. So, afterwards, we get this promo from all this basic stuff. Lights go out.
Well, before we get to that, you pointed out something about Aldis in his promo.
What?
The man, men.
Oh, he always talks about being men. That's just a NWA thing. We're men here and men fight in the ring. And I'm just like, all right, bro, enough of this. The lights go out because, as Rob said, it was anticlimactic. So I'm like, something has to happen here. Mm-hmm. The lights go out. And we all thought potentially it's the Great Muta, because the Great Muta.
I really thought it was going to be Muta.
Great Muta is supposed to have a match. Click that like button for Muta. Hit the Muta mist on that bad boy. Gino Morgan TV, good to have you in here, man. Just coming in. Who won? James Storm or Nick Aldis? Nick Aldis picked up the victory. We're talking about him being backstage and the lights going out right now. After this, we thought it was Muta, but was it Muta, Donnie?
It was not. It was none other than
Whoop whoop.
Marti Scurll, the villain.
The villain Marti Scurll shows up, and everybody knows at the Crockett Cup show, the main event was Nick Aldis versus Marti Scurll, and there was lots of blood in that match. Brutal match. And there's rumors of Marti leaving. And I just said this on the Ring of Honor review yesterday. Marti can go anywhere he wants. I said, hell, he can show up in NWA. And tonight he shows up. I was shocked. I was shocked to say that.
And what's crazy was, before I came over to this guy's house, I almost wore my Marti villain shirt. Because I just had that feeling. But I'm like, nah, it ain't going to happen. And it happened. What? That's crazy.
Donnie, you're killing me, Crimson. You're killing me. So, we get Marti. We started, so on the FITE TV feed, it looked like it accidentally cut back into something we weren't supposed to see, because then Marti was getting ready to talk on the microphone, and then Donnie, when I came back up, was like, dude, it froze. It froze, and I tried to refresh it. Nothing was happening on the feed. So, FITE TV, you got it. You did good on that one. But, other than that, man, thumbs up show. I would recommend people to check it out if they get the opportunity to. Was it worth the $35? Why not? I don't see why not. I'm willing to give them another chance, and I'm going to probably be watching that January 24th show. So, other than that, guys, Donnie, you got anything you want to plug, add in?
I'm just looking forward to the future of NWA.
NWA has to pay decent money to keep him from AEW. You got that right, Mr. Jackson. True that, bro. Eric Brennan in the chat. Eric, what's going on, brother? Good to have you in here. Yeah, dude, this was really great. Let me just give some thanks myself here. NWA, appreciate it. Good show, but this is about EPW for a second. I want to thank you guys so much for getting me to 1K. I promise the hard work doesn't stop. None of that. I wanted to achieve this. The goals are great. I started doing this back in 2016. You guys can find old videos with me and Rob talking about like WrestleMania 32. Then I started doing podcasting with audio, and I met so many great people like Foul, RJ. I can go through all the names. JPQ, Queen, Wilfred. So many great people, and now we're at this point. Josh Robinson, Kevin, I'm trying to make sure I'm forgetting one. Mags, I can't forget Mags. Shout out to Mags and his son, who just won a championship as well in MMA, I believe. So many great things, dude. So many great things and so many great people. Without you guys, none of this is possible. Without your help, motivating me when I'm down, helping me in the lab, figuring out how to do stuff, especially Foul with that, and Rob. Donnie, Derek, everybody who comes onto the shows, my boys Aron, Gerald, everybody, just the motivation factor really helps me out. Rob doing all the designs, dude. You guys kick ass. And then the chat, Jesus, King, Eric Brennan, Goober, Sonny, Elijah, all these people who come in and give their comments and thoughts, because this makes the show. A lot of other YouTubers will make you pay to get your comment read. I don't do that, guys. I would rather have you buy a t-shirt, get something in the mail, buy a gift for yourself or someone else. Don't worry about all that. If you can't give money, great. If you give me some money, I'll be thankful for that as well. But this is about everything pro wrestling. It's by the fans, for the fans. There is more to it than that. And Original Biggie, shout out to you as well, sir. I forgot to put your name in there. There's so many names. If I forgot you, I apologize. Original Biggie, we talk great stuff with wrestling video games. You can find it all on this channel. I talk about what I want when I can. And I hope that you guys continue to enjoy all of this, man. This is not just for me. This is for all of you guys too. I want this to continue to grow, like I said. So if you guys have thoughts, ideas, anything, I appreciate you. So give it up for my boy Donnie here.
Hey, and guys, 2020 next year, new era. So let's see this grow. Let's see this grow, because I absolutely love this.
2020, get that 2K. Thank you. Hey Zeus, just gave you a shout out too, brother. I appreciate you, dog, for coming in here, man. Keep it going. With that being said, though, I'm Conrad Cushman. This is Everything Pro Wrestling. For Donnie, we are out. Peace.